a little bit on some exercises. Look at this. Let's choose the correct grammatical level for each underlined word. I hate cooking. I hate cooking. What does it mean, cooking?
Gerund. Gerund.
It is a gerund. I plan to go.
Infinitive.
Infinitive.
Infinitive, correct. Yeah, listen, pay attention. Here we have, oh, le puse stop. Okay, no, yeah. Why is it gerund? Because it has another verb and another verb, right? Now, what about number 3? Hand gliding, it is an exciting sport. Miren bien, antes de responder. What's that? An adjective. Correct, Claudia. Why it's an adjective? First, antes de exciting no hay ningún verbo, mire. No hay verbo. Entonces no puede ser gerund menos infinitive, right? But here, ¿qué cosa es? It's an adjective, es un adjetivo porque está describiendo a sport. Yes, it's an adjective. Now, what about number 4? Tom is relaxing. Tom is relaxing. Lean bien, lo acabo de decir cómo reconocer el gerund infinitivo.
Present participle.
Bruno, very good. Why Bruno is a present?
Because don't have a verb.
Yeah, don't have a verb, pero ¿cuál es el verbo que tiene ahí? El is. Entonces ahí, ¿cómo se llama eso? Present continuous. Tom is relaxing on the beach now. I'm listening to the miss now. The miss is explaining the class now. Yes, so that it is present continuous. Remember que usamos present continuous para decir lo que hacemos en ese momento en el que estamos hablando. Right? Yes or no? Do you remember? Do you remember present continuous? Ese se le llama ahí ese ing. Ahí no es gerund porque no hay ningún otro verbo. No hay hope, love, like, yes, or any other. No, ahí está el verbo to be más el verbo ing. What about 5?
Infinitive.
Infinitive. Yes, porque acá está el verbo would like. What about 6? Flagging.
Participal adjective.
Infinitive, no. De ninguna manera puede ser infinitive.
Present
¿Cómo se hace el
participle.
infinitive? Con tú. Ahí no hay tú.
Present participle.
That's only a gerund. Yes, that's only a gerund. Pero este gerund funciona como que como sujeto. Yes, in this case it's only a gerund, pero it's a subject. O sea, es el sujeto de la oración. Flying in bad weather is scared. Aquí se traduce como si fuera el volar. ¿Ya? El volar en un clima malo es, how we can say, es que es aterrador, for example. Yes. Entonces, ¿qué es aterrador? Flying in a bad weather. This is the subject. Este es el sujeto de la oración. And that it is a gerund. A gerund, como lo mostré la clase pasada en el PowerPoint, puede ser también el sujeto de una oración. Es como decir swimming. Swimming is funny. For example. ¿Ya? Swimming is funny. Singing is amazing. Yes? That it is the same example. Yeah, that it is the same example. Es lo mismo que está aquí. Aquí le puedo agregar swimming in the beach. Y sigue siendo el sujeto. O si lo dejo solamente con swimming, también. Claudia. In this case, there isn't a difference. It has the same idea. Yes, it has the same idea. But we have to use here something else. Pero acá tenemos que usar algo más. Yes, but this is something that we haven't learned. Yeah, not yet. But this, yes. Remember, cuando tenemos a un verbo que se le ha agregado el ing, yes, puede funcionar como el sujeto de una oración. Okay. Wait a second, please. Now, let's see. Ready? A ver, let's try another exercise here. Each statement or question with the correct words. Aquí sí solamente vamos a ver si es gerund o infinitive dependiendo del verbo. ¿Ya? Gerund o infinitive depending on the verb. For example, would like needs a gerund or an infinitive.
Gerund.
Gerund and
Gerund
infinitive.
usted es su libro. ¿Ah? Gerund or infinitive.
No,
Infinitive.
it's infinitive.
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 Infinitive. To go. Okay, volunteers for the others, please. You can start right too.
Because the person needs.
Yeah, but read the whole sentence, Bruno. Our classmates. Excellent. Number 3.
No one agrees to be here at 7 o'clock. That's just too early. That's just too early.
That's just too early. Ready to leave. 5.
Doctors advise against quitting smoking.
Next.
Enjoy sitting on the beach in the sun.
César de las.
Do most people avoid to talk about their problems?
Avoid talking about the problems. Good. To correct the errors. Look, I think we should discuss to paint the kitchen white. It looks so nice and clean. Is it correct? What is the mistake? Discuss painting. What about number 2?
In the meeting,
Bing. What is the correct answer? What do number 3?
Hope to go to Ocean World on our next vacation.
Or on our...
Here to speak new language.
I love learning to speak new languages. Yeah, in this case, for example, Bruno, y para los demás, esto queda igual porque ese es el verbo. ¿Yes? Entonces, ¿cuál voy a cambiar? Lo que sigue. To speak. Yes, to speak. Eso sí, no hay cambios porque así está. Este es así, miren, acá por ejemplo hay dos formas. El love, después del love tenemos que gerund or infinitive, ¿verdad? Entonces ahí puede ser I love learning to speak new languages. Ahí está dos peces. Ya, ahí tenemos la función de utilizar el gerund or infinitive dos veces, porque hay tres verbos. Right? El learning va de acuerdo a love. Y el to speak va de acuerdo a learn. One more exercise. Yes. Pero para que no suene tan redundante, por eso es que se ha cambiado uno. En este caso, porque love sí puede utilizar cualquiera de los dos. Yes, don't forget that. I don't object. What is the correct preposition for object? About, for, to. Object to, working late. Now, please, I need volunteers for the others. You can start raising your hand, please.
Or using our phones during class.
Mistakes.
4.
Josie's husband is sick of driving to work in the terrible traffic.
Sick of. 5.
You should always apologize for being late.
Apologize for being.
Some people get depressed with being overweight, but if you are sick and tired with
About having to work on the weekend.
Good job. Excellent, guys. That's it. Another exercise. Okay, that's it. We have already practiced that. Yes. So what I want you to do is this. We are going to underline here the gerund. No, sorry. We're going to listen to the pronunciation of the reduction of to in infinitives. Yes. So notice how an unstressed to reduces to in actual speech. Look at the video.
Of to in infinitives. In natural speech, the word to is often unstressed. Listen. I love to travel. Unstressed words sound short and weak. I love to travel. When to comes before a verb to form the infinitive, the vowel is usually reduced to the short, weak sound a. I love to travel. She wants to watch a movie. Listen to these examples. Notice the reduced pronunciation of to in the infinitives. She likes to wear bright colors. I need to work late tonight. We decided to paint the kitchen. He plans to study marketing. I'd like to live in the country. They agreed to meet later. Now listen and repeat.
Listen and repeat.
Click on pause after each sentence.
Wear bright colors. I need to I need to work late tonight. And the same with the others. We're going to listen to these examples here, and then we're going to repeat.
Read and listen.
I decided to repaint the bedroom a happier color.
Repeat.
We plan to see the World Cup finals.
3.
She doesn't like to hear people talking on cell phones.
Repeat.
I know you'd like to choose a more cheerful color.
I know you
We're going to talk about likes and dislikes. And at the same time, when we mention likes and dislikes, we are going to use adjectives. Ready? Listen, please.
Read and listen to a conversation about likes and dislikes.
So tell me something about yourself.
What would you like to know?
Well, for example, what do you like doing in your free time?
Let's see. Most of all, I enjoy playing tennis. I think it's relaxing. What about you?
Well, I find tennis a little boring, but I do love going to the movies.
So do I. We should go to the movies together sometime then.
Okay, so there we have, yes? So tell me something about yourself, he says. What could you like to know? No? This could you like, te gustaría. Could like, te gustaría. O sea, ¿qué te gustaría saber? And she says, well, for example, what do you like doing in your free time? What does it mean free time? O déjame ver, let's see. Most of all, o sea, la mayoría de su tiempo libre, she says, I enjoy playing tennis. I think it's relaxing. What about you? And the man says, well, I find tennis a little boring, but I do, o sea, yo también, but I do love going to the movies, all right? So what are we using here? Here we are talking about like putting an emphasis here. That's why we use do. So do I. Entonces, listen, ¿para qué utilizar el do aquí? Right? To put a little emphasis in the activity. Entonces, esto sí es algo que él hace. Yes? And we have the answer here. So do I. Ese so do I significa yo también. Ready? Es como decir me too. Yes, that's so do I. We should go to the movies together sometime then. Entonces, luego deberíamos ir, ¿no? Alguna vez, sometime, alguna vez, to the movies. Yes, together. What does it mean together? Juntos, exactly, very good. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to make a similar conversation, yes? Here, write what is your likes, yes? And what do you dislike? For example, I like cooking, but I dislike skiing. So, listen, ¿qué estamos utilizando aquí? The gerund form, right? So, what does it mean? ¿Qué debo de poner? Swim or swimming? Like.
Swimming.
Swimming. Yes, swimming. Run or running?
Running.
Running.
Running. Yes, so you have to complete. Miss, pero yo quiero poner I like to play the guitar. Entonces, ¿cómo será? Playing the guitar. Yes, será entonces playing the guitar. Right? Pero el verbo tiene que ir en ing. ¿Por qué? Porque es el sujeto de la oración.
Teacher, si fuera otro instrumento también tendría que ir con playing.
Yes, los instrumentos utilizamos play.
Miss, ¿cómo sería ver, pero con gerund?
Sí, in. Le agregas ing nada más. Ese no hay cambio. Right. So what are we going to do? Let's watch a video, similar one, that you are going to use in the conversation. Here you will have more ideas.
Let's personalize the conversation model.
So tell me something about yourself.
What would you like to know?
Well, for example, what do you like doing on weekends?
Let's see. Most of all, I enjoy watching old classic movies. I think they're fascinating. What about you?
Well, I find watching old movies a little boring, but I do love to go walking in the park.
So do I. We should go walking in the park together sometime then.
Here you have one example.
Now let's personalize the conversation model again. Don't stop. Ask about your partner's plans for this weekend or for a vacation. Say as much as you can.
So, tell me something about yourself.
What would you like to know?
Well, for example, what activities do you like doing outside of the office?
Let's see. Most of all, I enjoy going bungee jumping. I think it's thrilling.
Really? I find extreme sports scary, but I do like being outside, and I like camping in the mountains.
So do I. So do you plan to do that on your vacation?
Actually, my wife can't stand camping. She doesn't like to sleep outside. So on my next vacation, I'd like to take my family to Ocean World.
Okay, so can you see? Here they are adding, or they mention different ideas, right? They mention what are the activities that they do, not only in the free time, yes, but it is in general. When it is on holiday, for example, on weekends, on vacations, if you are with your family, with your friends, if you want to eat for lunch or dinner. Yes, so you have here some times and occasions that you can make the question. Also, you can have here some adjective. Yes, we have positive adjective, or if you want to say something negative, you have here some negative adjective. Ready? So ask about your partner's plans for this weekend or for a vacation. Use the following verbs and your own ideas, your own infinitive. Maybe you can use plan, maybe need, maybe want, or maybe could like in exam. What do you plan to do this weekend? Could be one idea. What would you like to do this weekend? What do you want to do this weekend? Yes, so you can use any of these verbs. Ready? So you are going to get in pairs.
Read and listen to someone trying to cheer a friend up.
You look down. What's up? Oh, nothing serious. I'm just tired of the same old grind. But thanks for asking.
I know what you mean. I'm tired of working too. How about going to a movie? That always helps me.
Great idea. Let's go this afternoon.
So what do we have here? Look at this person. Look at him. How does he feel? Look at his face. How is he?
Sad.
Yeah, he's sad. Maybe tired. Tired, maybe sad. Yes, and he says you look down. What does it mean down? That is down. Yes, that is down, like sad, no, like unhappy. Maybe you are depressed. Yes, so that is down. And he says, what's up? What's happening to you? Yes, and he says, nothing serious. I'm just tired of the same old green. What does he mean this? Here, he says that he's tired of the same thing. Yes, of the same him. Happening all the time. Ready? A eso se refiere all green. Yes, so que está cansado de siempre hacer lo mismo. Yes, so maybe work or maybe studying or maybe whatever, right? That doesn't mean all green. Yes. El que está cansado de siempre de lo mismo, ¿no? Está, ¿cómo se dice? No. ¿Cómo se dice? Como rechinar, ¿no? Como cuando uno se queja, ¿no? Yeah, something like that. But thanks for asking, he says. I know what you mean, says the other man. I'm tired of working too. No. What about going to a movie? So that always helps. And he says, great idea. Yes, let's go this afternoon. And here we have these adjectives. Listen to them.
Listen and repeat.
Down.
Sad.
Repeat. As objects, right? Ya habíamos visto esto, que utilizábamos after a preposition, que venía a gerund, right? ¿Y dónde sacábamos de preposition? De aquí en esa tablita. Ready? So, we have already done these exercises. Estos ya hemos hecho también. We have done the exercise here. And I gave you homework. Yes, yo les di tareita aquí. So what is the homework? To complete these expressions using gerunds. Right? So Claudita mentions, I'm excited about niece or nephew. No sé qué será. Right? Or maybe having my new niece or nephew. Yeah, good. Good. Remember that after that we need verbs. Thank you, Claudia. Xiomara?
More
ideas?
Miss? Oh.
Yeah, bored with.
Okay, Miss. Right now, I am bored with eating broccoli.
Okay, I'm bored with eating broccoli. Okay, what about sick and tired of? Carlita.
I'm sick and tired of cooking.
Of cooking for my whole family. Of cooking for my family. Could be, maybe. Yeah, what else? Something else? The words. Ahí no hay verbo. I'm sick and tired of.
Podría ser working.
Maybe of feel cold. Of feel cold because of the weather. No, por el clima ya. Feel cold. Yes, ahí sí. Entonces acá sí podríamos agregar ing. Bruno, you have another idea?
I'm sick and tired of working.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of working in the mornings, for example. Gustavo?
I'm bored with watching news.
Yeah. Yes, Gustavo. That's totally true. Yeah, I'm bored with that. All the channels are talking about the new president. Yeah, all the channels. Yeah, Gustavo, great job. Somebody else? Yes, of doing so many homework. So much homework. Better. Okay, good. Great. Nobody else? What do you have here in this homework? Xiomara, do you have another idea?
Yes, Miss. Right now, I am excited about staying with health and staying in home.
Yes, staying. Staying with health and staying at home. Very good. Someone up es animar a alguien. Yeah, cheer up es animar. For example, Fatima is sad and Claudia says, no, Fatima, don't be sad. Let's do other things. Let's play volleyball. Let's play video games. Let's listen to music. Let's dance something. But you make the person feel happy. Yes, that it is cheer up, animar a alguien. When you are sad, no? When that person is sad. Okay, so we are having here, you're going to think about what are you tired of, and we're going to create a similar conversation. You can give more suggestions using gerunds and nouns. You can use also this language, but we are going to watch a video as an example.
Let's change the conversation model.
You look depressed. What's up?
Oh, nothing serious. I'm just tired of getting up so early every day. But thanks for asking.
I know what you mean. I hate getting up early too. How about going to bed earlier? That always helps me.
Good idea.
Now, here in this conversation, they are asking more ideas.
Now let's change the conversation model again. Don't stop. Make more suggestions. Say as much as you can.
You look upset. What's up?
Oh, nothing serious. I'm just a little depressed about having way too much work. I don't get home until 11 at night.
I know what you mean. How about having a talk with your boss?
I don't know. I'm worried about saying anything. She gets angry sometimes.
Well, be sure to say that you're not complaining about working hard. Just say that you need to get home a little earlier at night. I'm sure she'll understand. I believe in telling the truth.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah. So can you see also she's giving more suggestions, even to talk to her boss. Yes, because she left the office very late. Yes, and she's very tired, right? So you can mention that. So ready? Yes. So please, I want you to make a similar conversation like this. That's right. Okay. So let's see. I will change the couples, yeah? Any question before we start? Oh. Its origin. Yes. Where is the personality come from? In what way does a parent's behavior affect a child's development? Development es el desarrollo, no? So how parents can affect, how parents' behavior affects the child's development? Because of genetic, isn't that because of genetic, por genética, we can have some things from our parents, no? Some characteristics, also some personality traits. Yes, también podemos nosotros heredar algún tipo de rasgos de la personalidad from our parents. Yes, so we are going to see personality. It is nature or nurture? What does it mean, nature or nurture? Nature is the environment. Yes, because of the environment, o sea, del medio ambiente. Quiere decir que se aprende en el medio ambiente. In the society, with friends, with family. And nurture, yeah, it is genetic. Yeah, it is genetic. So listen, what are we going to do? I will play the audio and then I will stop.
And listen.
Personality, from nature or nurture? What is personality? Many people define personality as a person's usual manner or style of behavior. These patterns of behavior tend to be predictable throughout a person's lifetime. Some people are introverts, others are extroverts. Some people have easygoing personalities. They are usually cheerful and calm, and able to cope with life's difficulties without much trouble. Their emotions are usually under control. They don't get extremely angry about little things. Others, at the other end of the personality spectrum, are more emotional, experiencing higher highs and lower lows. Most people's personalities, however, don't fall at the extreme ends, but rather fall somewhere in between.
Okay, so here we have. What is personality? Many people define personality as a person's usual manner or a style of behavior. Behavior es comportamiento. Yes, el comportamiento. So these patterns, yes, estos patrones de comportamiento tend to be predictable throughout a person's lifetime. O sea, puede ser predecible a través de la vida de una persona. Yes. Some people are introverts, other are extroverts. ¿Sí saben lo que son introverts and extroverts? What's the difference? Yes, but the introverts, no, they like to feel alone. Yes, only that person, that's it. They want to feel alone, right? They don't like to socialize. They don't like to be with many people, with friends. Yes, that is an introvert person. Some people are easygoing, have easygoing personalities. Yes, easygoing. So when a person is easygoing means that this person don't have, well, she have, yes. So how we can say it? This person, bueno, an easygoing person es una persona que no se hace problemas por nada. Yes, has difficulties, pero siempre las soluciona, busca solucionar o convive con esas dificultades. Yes, that is an easygoing person. They are usually cheerful and calm. O sea, cheerful, siempre quieren animar, están animados ellos. O sea, no hay nada que los haga ponerse enojados ni nada. Yes, and calm, calmados. And are able to cope, o sea, pueden controlar, pueden manejar difficulties without problem. Yes, without much trouble. Their emotions are usually under control. They didn't get extremely angry about little things. Others at the other end of the personality spectrum are more emotional. Otros are más emocionales. Yes, what does it mean? Que pueden sentirse muy rápidamente tristes y a la misma vez felices, and so on. Yes. Most people personalities, however, don't fall all the extreme ends, ¿no? O sea, la mayoría no se va a los extremos. Se queda en algún lugar en el medio. Yes. O sea, sometimes you are good, sometimes you are sad. Yes. Pero si todo el tiempo estás depressed, it's not normal. Yeah, it's not normal. That's why many people have their emotions in between. Porque si lo tenemos a los extremos, ya no es nada normal. Ya tenemos que tener algún tipo de ayuda. Ready? Pero no todos tienen eso. La minoría. Ay, lo cerré el audio. Oh my God. A ver.
Where do we get our personality? For hundreds of years, psychologists and ordinary people have never stopped debating this fascinating question. Some people think personality develops as a result of the environment, the combination of influences that we learn from, such as our families, our culture, our friends, and our education. The people who believe this theory believe that all babies are born without a personality, and that it's the environment that determines or forms each child's personality. This school of thought is called the nurture school. At the other end of the continuum, we find people who believe that personality is determined by nature, or the characteristics we receive or inherit from our parents biologically through their genes. These people believe that our personality is not determined by the environment, but rather by genetics, and that each baby is born with a personality.
Okay, the second part. So there we have a little, yeah. Personality, o sea, ¿de dónde lo conseguimos? For 100 years, for hundreds of years, psychologists and ordinary people, o sea, son las personas de forma común, que no han tenido ningún estudio en relación a psicología. Yes, ordinary people. Have never stopped debating the fascinating question. Some people think personality develops, o sea, se desarrolla, as a result of the environment. ¿Quiénes son the environment? The environment, yes, Claudia? Yes, exactly, very good. The influence that we learn from family, culture, our country, our city, yes, friends, education in the school, in the university. So the people who believe this theory, creen, that all babies are born, o sea, nacen sin personalidad. And the environment, family, culture, friends, education, school, the neighborhood, the city, the environment determines. This school is called nurture school. Yes, nurture school. Lo que les había dicho anteriormente, ¿no? Nurture school, about the environment, del medio ambiente. O sea, creamos nuestra personalidad del medio ambiente. Now, at the other end of the continuum, we find people who believe that personality is determined by nature, o sea, por naturaleza. What does it mean? That it is inherent, o sea, que es heredada. A la naturaleza le llaman heredad. From our parents, biologically, o sea, ¿de quién? From our parents, genetic, yes, genetic. Believe that our personality is not determined by the environment, but rather by genetics. What does it mean? That the baby is born, o sea que ya nace con personalidad. ¿De quién? Heredada, inherit, from parents. Finally, the last part.
The nature-nurture controversy is very old. Experimental psychologists have tried to discover which of these two factors, genetics or the environment, is more important in forming our personality. However, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to conduct research on real people with real lives. There's just no way to put people in a laboratory and watch them develop. For this reason, there's no scientific way to settle the nature-nurture controversy. Recently, however, most researchers have come to believe that both the environment and the genes, nurture and nature, work together and are both important. Even though the experts have largely discarded the idea that personality development is so black and white, the nature-nurture controversy remains a popular discussion among friends. It seems that everyone has an opinion.
Nurture controversy, o sea, la controversia de quién tiene la razón, de cuál es verdad, cuál es falsa, is very old. Experimental psychologists have tried to discover which of these two factors, genetics or the environment, is more important in forming our personality. However, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to conduct research on real people with real lives. So there's just no way to put people, o sea, no vamos a poner people in a laboratory and watch them develop 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, para ver de dónde salió la personalidad. Yes, no se puede. For this reason, there is no scientific way to settle the nature-nurture controversy. Yeah, it cannot be. Recently, however, most researchers have come to believe that both, si al final piensan o llegan a la conclusión that both the environment and the genes work together and that both are important. Even though the experts have largely discarded the idea that personality development is so black and white. This controversy remains a popular discussion among friends. It seems that everyone has an opinion. Yes, opinion, but nobody has an answer. Pero al final nadie tiene una respuesta. Right? So that's it. So listen, what are we going to do right now? I want to match the words here from the definitions. For example, what it is personality?
Letter A.
What it is personality? A person usual pattern of behavior, yes. And you match. Letter A. Okay, the other ones, please. Do it, a couple of minutes, yeah? In introvert. Read and check. For example, you tend. Number one, you enjoy being in a group or being alone? For me, being in a group. You need to interact with others or avoid interacting unnecessarily? Well, I don't like it. Yes, like this. And when you finish, you here write the number of the sentences that you have selected. For example, 5 sentences here or 4 and here 6, maybe. Yes, hurry up. 2 minutes for you to do this.
I'm a mixture of both.
A mixture. Yes, it's good to be introvert también. Yes, it's good. But listen, something that we need to remember is that sometimes it is necessary to spend time with people. Yes, it is necessary to spend time with people. Cuando hacemos trabajos en grupos or whatever, right? It's necessary. Okay, good job. Now listen, let's move to the last part. We are going to listen here about families. Yes, about families, personality. Ready? So here you have. Do you think the first child in a family has different personality traits, o sea, characteristics, from those siblings who are born later? What do you think? When they have siblings, they have to share. Y hay que compartir time with, not only with my father and my mother, but also with my siblings, with my brothers and sisters. Good. So listen, what do we have here? We're going to listen to the first audio. Yes, here you are going to listen and tell me what it is the main idea of the discussion. What is the discussion about? ¿De qué trata? Firstborn children are often too critical of themselves. Children in the same family usually have personalities that are determined by order of birth. Order of birth, el orden de nacimiento. Children usually have personalities that are determined by genes. So listen and check the main idea of the audio.
Then listen to all 3 parts of discussion, the statement that best expresses the main idea of the discussion. Part 1.
Would you like some more dessert? No, thanks, Linda. Everything was delicious, but I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks so much.
So, Jean, how are your kids doing?
Well, that depends which one.
Well, how about the oldest? That's Brian, right? How old is he now?
He's 15. Brian's fine. Brian's always fine. He's doing great at school. I'm sure he'll get into a great university in a couple of years. He's a great kid, works hard, he plays by the rules, and he's successful at almost everything he does. The only thing that sometimes worries me about Brian is that he can be a little too self-critical.
Self-critical? How so?
Well, Brian can be pretty hard on himself. No matter how well he does at something, he's not satisfied. He always feels he could do better.
That's so interesting. Our first, Eric, is like that too.
Really?
You know, I once read this article in one of those popular psychology magazines. It said that first children are often self-critical because parents push them to succeed more than they do with their other children. I don't mean to suggest you did that, and I don't think we did that with Eric. but it's interesting because it's so common. I just wonder why.
Well, I do think there's some truth to that in our case. Harvey and I were involved in everything Brian did. Music lessons, karate lessons, Chinese class on Saturday. We drove him to all his classes. We picked him up after they were over. We always asked him a lot of questions about how he was doing. He probably thought our message to him was that he had to be good at everything. But we were just interested. We didn't actually push him to be good at everything, but he may have thought we expected a lot of him. Kids internalize those messages.
I imagine that's pretty typical. It's no one's fault.
And one more thing, if you buy into that, nurture theory.
Yeah?
Brian's sister Annie wasn't born till Brian was 8. He really had more contact with us and other adults than he did with someone closer to his age. I'm sure all that contact with us probably had a huge impact. And, interestingly, Brian has always been comfortable with adults.
From what you're saying, it sounds like Brian is the classic first child. They say that first children often feel more comfortable with people older than themselves. They seem to have a short childhood and grow up fast.
Okay.
Part 2.
So, what about Annie?
Going to listen to part 1. In part 1, you have to read and tell me if those answers, so those sentences are true or false. Do you have any question about vocabulary in part 1?
Then listen to all 3 parts of the discussion. Choose the statement that best expresses the main idea of the discussion. Part 1.
Would you like some more dessert?
No, thanks, Linda. Everything was delicious, but I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks so much.
So, Jean, how are your kids doing?
Well, that depends which one.
Well, how about the oldest? That's Brian, right? How old is he now?
He's 15. Brian's fine. Brian's always fine. He's doing great at school. I'm sure he'll get into a great university in a couple of years. He's a great kid, works hard, he plays by the rules, and he's successful at almost everything he does. The only thing that sometimes worries me about Brian is that he can be a little too self-critical.
Self-critical? How so?
Well, Brian can be pretty hard on himself. No matter how well he does at something, he's not satisfied. He always feels he could do better.
That's so interesting. Our first, Eric, is like that too.
Really?
I once read this article in one of those popular psychology magazines. It said that first children are often self-critical because parents push them to succeed more than they do with their other children. I don't mean to suggest you did that, and I don't think we did that with Eric, but it's interesting because it's so common. I just wonder why.
Well, I do think there's some truth to that in our case. Harvey and I were involved in everything Brian did. Music lessons, karate lessons, Chinese class on Saturday. We drove him to all his classes. We picked him up after they were over. We always asked him a lot of questions about how he was doing. He probably thought our message to him was that he had to be good at everything. But we were just interested. We didn't actually push him to be good at everything, but he may have thought we expected a lot of him. Kids internalize those messages.
I imagine that's pretty typical. It's no one's fault.
And one more thing, if you buy into that, nurture theory.
Yeah?
Brian's sister Annie wasn't born till Brian was 8. He really had more contact with us and other adults than he did with someone closer to his age. I'm sure all that contact with us probably had a huge impact. And, interestingly, Brian has always been comfortable with adults.
From what you're saying, it sounds like Brian is the classic first child. They say that first children often feel more comfortable with people older than themselves. They seem to have a short childhood and grow up fast.
Part 2.
So, what...
Okay. To be with adults. Very good. Part 2. You have to listen to part 2 and circle the correct answer.
How so?
Well, you know what they say about middle children. It's hard for them to feel special. They have no special status. They're not the first and not the baby. They're just in between. Most middle children at least have a little time to be the baby and feel special. But in Annie's case, she never did. Her sister Lucy was born when Annie was really still a baby.
I didn't realize that. How old was Annie when her sister was born?
13 months, just over a year. Annie wasn't even walking or talking yet.
How did Lucy's arrival affect her?
Well, Annie's not an unhappy kid, but she struggles with the things people say middle children usually have a hard time with. Maybe a little more than the typical middle child.
What kinds of things?
Well, Annie's sort of jealous of both her siblings. She's jealous of Brian because we're always saying how great he is. And she's jealous of Lucy because she thinks Lucy gets more attention. Remember, Annie never had a chance to be the baby. We think that's why she's a little bit of a rebel.
Annie's a rebel? She's only 7. How can she be such a rebel?
Well, nothing terrible, but we know that if we're going out, there's going to be an argument with Annie about clothes. I ask her to wear shoes, and she wants to wear sandals. We get dressed up to go to a nice restaurant, and she wants to wear jeans. Sometimes we just give in and let her wear what she wants. We hate to keep fighting with her all the time. This would never happen with Brian.
You know, it sounds like she may be trying to get the attention she thinks the other two are getting.
You may be right, but on the other hand, we don't really worry about her. She's very popular. No one has more friends than Annie. People just love her. She's always been very popular.
You know, that's what they say about middle children. They're usually very popular.
Part 3.
Popular, right. Finally, the last part. You have here some questions and you need to answer according to the last part. Yes? How old was Annie when Lucy was born? What does Lucy like most? What did Lucy do to the dining room wall? Why does Lucy drive her older siblings crazy?
Lucy developed on her own, but that definitely had an effect on her personality. Like any kid, she wanted our attention.
What did she do to get it?
Well, she learned how to make us laugh. There's nothing Lucy likes more than clowning around and making people laugh. She's the family clown. Everyone loves her.
Lucy is a lovable kid, very charming. I smile every time I think of her.
Sometimes I worry, though, that she's a little bit of a show-off, but they say that many youngest children like to show off. How better to get attention, right?
Right.
But I have to tell you that doesn't stop her from being a bit of a pain, too. Last week, she decided to paint the dining room walls. Thank goodness she only had washable paint.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't laugh. Well, they do say the baby is usually the most creative.
Well, that's our Lucy. But seriously, though, she is creative. Piano, children's theater, ballet lessons, all that stuff. She just can't get enough. We just wish she'd grow up a little. It seems like she'll always be the baby. She drives her older brother and sister crazy with all the attention she gets.
Well, they say the youngest child has the longest childhood. It looks like all 3 of your kids are a textbook case on birth order.
You can say that again. Well, I've got to be going. This was really fun. Next time you'll have to have lunch at my place.
I'll take you up on that. I'll give you a call sometime next week, okay?
Okay, there we have the last part. Too much attention for them. Very good. And the youngest child shows off. Do you have an idea? Person presumida.